Thanks for joining us. First tonight, the Post Office has apologised to people in a North Yorkshire market town who have been without a branch for 4 months. Helmsley Post Office closed suddenly in August when the cost-cutter franchise it operated in went bust. But despite repeated promises to replace it, there is still no such service in the town, as Carla Fowler now reports.
Helmsley residents are angry, and it's no wonder. You can't post a letter in the town these days. The cost-cutter-based branch of the post office closed suddenly in August, and there's still no replacement. The next nearest post office is at least 5 miles away.
It's had a huge impact when the post office closed, and it's been 4 months now that we haven't had the service. It's really difficult for businesses to function without banking services, and the post office was that lifeline for them. And the second thing, of course, is the online side of retailers' businesses. We have lots of retailers here, huge independent business community. It's a busy market town, and we need those essential services.
The post box has been full to the brim for days. The owner of one business operating in Helmsley for more than 50 years says services were better during the war.
It's a total disaster for Helmsley. It wouldn't happen in the larger towns. We're a rural area. The post box is full, and normally the post office would be open. You could go and deposit your mail in the post office. We can't do that. So we've probably got to go as far as Kirbymoor side to post your letters.
For many elderly residents, that means a long journey by bus. Eddie is 81.
Well, the bus runs every 2 hours, so it's about half hour, 3/4 an hour on the bus. Then I've got to do my business in Pickering, because Kirby's too small, then hang about for the next bus, which will be 2 hours.
I called on the post office once again to immediately resume services here in Helmsley until we have a permanent solution. They have the ability to do this, but they have been taking the people of Helmsley and our towns and our businesses for granted.
In a statement, the post office said, "We sincerely apologise for the inconvenience caused. A temporary mobile service that operated for a few weeks was not sustainable." But there is an interested retailer who wants to reopen the shop and post office. They said, "We're working hard to provide a full-time solution as soon as possible." But for now, Helmsley's residents are still out in the cold. Carla Fowler, BBC Look North.
The A1M has reopened after a serious crash this morning that led to diversions and long delays. It happened just before 10 o'clock this morning. The southbound carriageway was closed for an hour, while the northbound carriageway reopened at around lunchtime. The train operator Northern has advised passengers do not travel for the first week of 2023 because of strike action. The RMT union has 2 48-hour walkouts planned starting on the 3rd and 6th of January, and ASLEF members are staging a one-day strike on the 5th. The unions are in dispute with the government and rail companies about pay, job cuts and changes to terms and conditions. Work is underway to secure the future of a fire-hit mill which was used as a set for the hit television shows Peaky Blinders and Downton Abbey. A blaze engulfed the historic Dalton Mills complex in Keighley in March. The mill was gutted by the blaze, but the 4 exterior walls were left standing. The fate of the complex was raised at a meeting of Bradford Council, where it was revealed that the building had recently changed hands. There's been a huge donation drive in York to help asylum seekers who are arriving in the city. The Home Office has chosen York to host families and couples who are seeking asylum and are in need of support and accommodation. Refugee Action York have been putting together the packs with clothes and essential items and have thanked people for making generous donations at churches across the city.
It reminds you about the background that many of the people that we're packing the boxes for have come from, sometimes on foot from very distant lands. So they're in very clear need of more clothes because they can't carry much with them.
OK, let's have a quick look at the Boxing Day football action now. Sheffield United went level on points with Championship leaders Burnley as the Blades beat Coventry City 3-1 at Bramall Lane. Elsewhere, Rotherham United drew 2-2 with Stoke City, and Huddersfield Town stayed bottom but picked up what could be a vital 3 points coming from behind to win 2-1 at Preston North End. In League One, Sheffield Wednesday extended their unbeaten run to 11 games as they beat Fleetwood Town by 2-1. The Owls are now third of the table, 1 place above Barnsley, who drew 1-1 at Accrington Stanley. On to League Two, and there were defeats, I'm afraid, for Bradford City and Doncaster Rovers, but a great win for Harrogate Town. With a score at 2-2 going into injury time against Grimsby, just take a look at this for a winning goal. Kane Ramsey's shot hit the post, then the goalkeeper, and eventually trickled into the net for a 3-2 win. Now, you might remember last week we heard from Betty Douglas from Bradford, who has made her debut as a Radio 1 presenter this Christmas. Betty has spina bifida, is one of the first presenters with a disability to appear on Radio 1. She was on air as part of the station's Christmas takeover to give opportunities to new talent. So how did it go?
Oh my God, so many people from Bradford kept texting in. The producers were like, I didn't even know there were this many people in Bradford. So that was really, really nice to be able to shine some really, really positive attention on where I'm from and the city, and to see so many people also being from there and driving to Bradford or from Bradford to go visit family in different parts of the country. And yeah, I mean, I gave us a shout out saying that we're City of Culture in 2025, so that was on the radio this week.
Yes, well done, Betty. And if you want more of that, our very own weather presenter, Abby Dewhurst, is also taking over Radio 1 this festive period. She's presenting the Life Hack Show with Mary Manderfield at 4 o'clock on New Year's Day. Do listen in if you can. OK, let's check out the weather prospects. Not being too clever today. I fear it's going downhill. Paul can tell us more.
Hello again, good evening. Well, very unsettled over the next few days, and tomorrow again will turn out to be wet and windy. A bit of a respite on Thursday, brighter but with showers and very windy indeed. So for the next few hours, any rain will soon clear out of the way. The nighttime period looks dry with clear spells. With the wind, it should largely be frost-free. We're looking at lows around 4 or 5 degrees. So tomorrow morning off to a dry start, but my goodness, it won't last long. Cloud and outbreaks of rain sweeping back up from the southwest during the first half of the morning, clearing towards the end of tomorrow afternoon. We'll see temperatures eventually reaching around 10 or 11 degrees, so mild by the end of the afternoon after that chilly start. Looking a little bit further ahead then, Thursday looks brighter with sunshine and a few scattered showers, very windy, before wet and windy weather returns during Friday. That's the forecast.
Thank you, Paul. I'll be back with a late bulletin at 11:15. If you're still up, we'll see you then. In the meantime, have a very good evening.